What's up, guys? I'm Dr. Nestor. That's Dr. Diego.
Yes.
And this is episode number 6 of The Clench. Run it.
Wow. It has been an interesting couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Truly, for so many things that have been happening. Yeah.
Good, bad.
I think good.
I mean, in general, I think even the bad things that happen to you can turn out for good.
Too good, yeah. Everything.
So everything's good.
Everything's good. I think this episode is going to be called Managing Priorities in Life. And I find it important because, at least for me personally, I've been going through a stage in my life where I feel overwhelmed. That's the word I feel. And I know it's the same for you.
Oh, yeah. I think that it can always be like that if you let it get to you, you know?
Yeah.
And it gets to me all the time. So, yeah.
Before we get too personal, Diego, because this episode is going to be personal, guys. We're going to tell you a little bit about our personal lives. I just want to tell you that we're here at Grace Dental Studio. We're in the midst of winter season. Christmas is coming up. Thanksgiving was just a week ago. We got a lot of patients in the clinic. A lot of the so-called snowbirds are here, placing a lot of implants, placing a lot of crowns, root canals, you name it. The clinic is active. We've got our doctors downstairs working right now. But we've had a few minutes right now, which is weird. We don't usually have free minutes. We scheduled this podcast to happen today. And I just want to talk to you about, how everything lately just feels like it needs to be on a schedule or else it doesn't work.
Yeah. I think we all in life have, this is not going to be a strange subject to you guys because we've all had a full plate, or a full plate and then it gets even fuller, even heavier.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's not stopping, it's always more and more. First it's university, then it's your first child, then it's your marriage, it gets complicated. Then it's, so it just keeps going, and then you forget that your balance is off and you're more inclined to a certain area that you thought was important or necessary.
Yeah.
And then everything's going sideways.
That's fun. That's what I find funny, man. Like, you hear so many people talk about a balanced life. Like, oh, must have a balanced life. Like, it's an easy thing. But when you have on this plate that we're talking about, kids, family, because your kids are apart from, not apart, they're part of your family, but
So what's more important?
Well, let's not even get there right now. Or we will, but it's kids, It's your family, kids, spirituality if you must, your friends. I don't know, your wife.
Right. But I think it's a question that we all make to ourselves, maybe unconsciously. At a certain point, we're like, "What's more important? Oh, I gotta deliver this work." Then you put your kids aside. So even if you think it or not, whether you're asking yourself that question every day, maybe at different moments of your life, you're like, should I have breakfast or should I go see my patient? Should I go work out or should I go to the appointment?
To church.
Or should I go to church maybe, spiritual life?
Yeah, or should I,
So we question ourselves that all the time, maybe unconsciously, but...
Should I go buy flowers for my wife or take my kid to Chuck E. Cheese to play games, it sounds funny. Like, maybe you as a viewer are saying right now, well, all of it, easier said than done though. There's just not enough hours in the day sometimes.
Or should I just push everything aside and go golfing?
Right.
Because I know that's something I would like to do sometimes.
Yeah. I don't play golf, but...
I don't either, but I would like to.
Yeah, so I think that at the end of the day, and maybe because I'm a very thoughtful person, I think a lot, overthink. Mm-hmm. I feel like everything that we've just said has an important part or or place in our lives. And that balance is, I don't know, I feel sometimes, and I love my family, I love my mom and dad, but I feel like and I need them too, you know? I feel like I need them. If I don't write it down, or if I don't like purposefully like plan it, I can just be overwhelmed with all the things. Because just being a business owner here, you know, has so many aspects to it.
Yeah.
It's not just fixing teeth, you know, that it can take just one whole day of my mind, you know. We'll leave here at 3 to 4 p.m. if we can. Then we get home, and it's not like we can easily just disconnect from all that's happening here.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh man, what are we gonna do about, you know, this tomorrow? Or even things like there's a water leak in the office, you know, and that like, did they call the worker so that he can come, you know, build or fix that, you know? At the same time, you're thinking about the patient who needs a root canal, but it's possibly going to be an extraction. You got to tell him tomorrow, but his estimate's going to change, you know? It's a million things, man.
Yeah.
So
question here is, where does it end? Or where does it even start? Where do you start to balance your life? At what moment do you decide, you know, enough is enough? I need to stop a little bit.
Or is it just like time? Time has no beginning and it has no end, and it just is what it is?
I don't know. Step back. You said that earlier.
I feel like sometimes we're in the midst of this tornado. Just life is such, you know, like it's like a tornado, you know, or it can be at times. And sometimes you're in the middle of it, and you got to take a step back. And that step back sometimes lets you see the tornado from a different perspective. Like, it's still happening.
Yeah.
And tornado, let's call it something else, this ocean if you want, you know? It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just happening. Everything is happening, you know? And I'm not talking about quitting.
And the beauty of chaos.
Yeah, something like that. You're getting there. Like, I feel like in the midst of it all, we got to take a step back and like reorganize our thoughts. Like re-prioritize things. Like, okay, I know my plate's got a ton of things in it. What's most important?
Right.
Thoughts on that?
I love seeing, there's a blog that I follow on Instagram about this guy who's an amazing organizer, you know. He's just basically uploads videos of his morning routines, you know, workout, you know, things like that. He gets up, he cleans his room, like dusts his whole furniture, does his bed, and, you know, turns on a little candle, does yoga, you know, then changes into like his workout clothes, goes to work out, comes back, does his breakfast, and you see the sunrise coming up, and I'm like,
yeah, what time did he wake up at?
What time did you, you know, my baby's crying as soon as I get up. He wants some milk.
Yeah.
And things like that, you know. It's like, well, my baby's first, you know. Okay, there's that little chaos. That is beautiful, you know. I love how when my baby gets up in the morning, he's like, Dad, can I have some milk? Can you turn on the cartoons?
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, yeah, come on, how are you? You know, I enjoy that.
Totally.
But it destroys the organization of everything, of the discipline maybe that I was intended to do.
Of your plan.
Of my plan, just kind of like broke it already. But
yeah,
priorities, I don't know.
But once again though, and like to the viewers, please either send us a link of a video you've seen or comment what works for you. But it's sometimes chaotic. You know, trying to organize, even with a plan, things don't come out, you know? And it's like, obviously, having a schedule, having a plan seems to be the most effective thing, you know? And we can talk about kind of like time travel in a way, or the butterfly effect, you know? Like what you do right now in this moment. Because a lot of our troubles, I feel, are due to something in the future. Like what's going to happen tomorrow, you know, or how are you going to pay the bills, or somebody's going to school, you know, or my dad or somebody has an issue with health, and like, how are we going to figure that out? A lot of the things that concern us, our souls, have to do with the future. Mm-hmm. Some in the present, but most of them I feel are in the future. Like, what's going to happen tomorrow? Are we going to have this job ready to deliver to the patient? Are we going to?
So forget the future. That's
Yes.
probably a good start too. Like, don't worry about that. That happens to me every day. I'm looking at the agenda for next week. I'm seeing how, oh shoot, maybe did we send this? Did we send that? I have an appointment for the doctor and haven't done that study. I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit of like carelessness, like add a little bit of carelessness to the future. Like, it'll come, whenever it comes, we'll deal with it. Sometimes, guys, I'm not saying be careless completely.
Well, that's I feel, okay, it takes a lot of mind, right? But truly, I feel like the tornado is a must. Listen to this. I feel like the tornado is happening. Always. There's always something happening, Nobody's life is just simple. There's always, we got to travel. A family member got sick. We got to pay for this, Your AC broke down. There's always something happening to us, My car broke down. Somebody hit the car. It crashed. I don't think carelessness is the key. I think taking that step back while the chaos is happening is just gotta be kind of a routine. Like, there's so much going on. I'm gonna take a step back. And you just did it last night. You told me.
Yeah.
What did you do last night?
I didn't sleep.
No.
Oh.
No, like with your day. I'm sorry, not last night.
I couldn't sleep at 3 a.m. because I was thinking about some stuff, and I went over and over. But yesterday, when I got home, I basically
That's what I mean.
Decided to clean my house. That's it.
Something you never do.
I do clean it, but this time I enjoyed it. I was like, I'm gonna clean the house, kind of like the blogger that I see on Instagram. Clean the house.
Yeah.
I cooked. I played some music. Light the chimney, and it was to me an evening of work without thinking of anything else but cleaning the house.
Yeah, it's if I can say it in other easier words for you to understand, it's like life is a dance, Like you're dancing, and it's dancing, you're sweating while you're dancing and stuff. You got to leave the dance floor for moments. The dance is still going on. You just got to leave it. It's not like you're not aware that it's happening. It's not like you're not prepared with your boots to dance that night. You're prepared. You're ready. Sometimes you just got to take a break. That doesn't mean forget about the patients, forget about the family. It doesn't. Like, it's still there. That dance is still happening. But you have to be able to take a step back. And it's not a step forever. Like, you can't just ditch life like that.
Now I got to stop you there because I know that there's different personalities, guys, too,
I understand.
And I think that for people, and what I was saying, maybe matches my type of personality. I was saying be a little bit more careless about the future because I am a very obsessive person. I am very organized, I am proud of being organized and detailed and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do have to be more careless to kind of like balance my life, But there's different personalities that maybe are much more relaxed, They don't really worry about the future. And that type of personality does have to step back and realize they do have to care a little bit more.
Right.
So there's again that word balance, Add it to the plate again, because it's not the same recipe for everybody, guys.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not. And I feel like that's why it's such a problem, And maybe we have a psychologist watching this and they're like, wow, these guys need some assistance, And probably we do. And
this was definitely one of those like thoughtful, psychological
podcasts.
Yeah, it was more.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Food for thought.
Everything is food for thought. I feel like obviously a balance is necessary, however that balance looks to you. There is certain things that I consider, essential to the soul, like I was talking to Absinthe and we came up with five, not we came up, we or you heard a podcast or something. Remember what those 5 things were, man? Time for...
They were hobbies.
Hobbies.
Yeah.
Hobbies to take...
Hobby to make money.
Hobby to make money.
Hobby to stay in shape.
Stay in shape.
Hobby to stay creative.
Stay creative.
A hobby to build knowledge.
To build knowledge.
And a hobby to evolve your mindset.
To evolve your mindset. Yeah, that's interesting, man. Like, I feel like there's definitely, ways or books to read or things to do,
Yeah. Actually, I'm reading one. Let me show you guys.
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
I think in the meanwhile, guys, like, and it's, I like a podcast because it lets us be transparent to our viewers. This is where we're at right now in life, Maybe a lot of our viewers are like, oh, guys, I've been there, done that, Oh, look what Dr. Diego's reading.
It says make time.
Make time.
Interesting.
Make time for the things that matter,
Yeah. It's a cool book. Just started.
Yeah. Anyways, bringing it back to dentistry, guys, because this has been long. Let's just, in a nutshell, when you're waiting in the reception and it's late and you're like, it's already been 25 minutes. Where is my dentist? Why did I even make an appointment?
We're doing yoga upstairs.
We're recording this podcast. Kidding. Usually, guys, dentistry is an inexact science. Sometimes a patient came in for an extraction, and you're like, give me an hour to pull that tooth or less, and that turns into a complicated extraction. The tip of the root is there. What do? Do you just ditch the patient? Or do you call the patient that is supposed to be here in 30 minutes, they're already in the road or they're already in the reception, some people come early, and tell them, hey, it's going to be pushed up. Well, when you push that one up, then the one after that gets pushed up, and then it gets pushed up. I'm not excusing myself. I'm asking for understanding. How do I do it? Do I schedule one patient a day in case there's a complication? How do you guys do it?
Comment below, guys. What do you guys do when you get overwhelmed, when the tornado is just spinning all around you? What do you do?
Yeah, what's been a good way to exit without just like forget life, like forget my work, forget I quit. Like that's not an option.
Yeah.
Obviously. What's the healthy way to do it, guys? I'd like to know. I'd like to know what our viewers or the ones that listen to this podcast think. For now, I think being present in this moment is super important for me in life. I consider, and I've told you this before while we're driving, like we're working for the future so much, man. Like, what about the now? What about right here, right now? What if we die tomorrow? Mm-hmm. God forbid it. I want to see my grandchildren, but what if we do? What are we really working for?
Take care of yourselves, guys. Take care of your mind, your heart, your soul. We'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. To infinity.
And beyond.
And right now. See you guys. Thank you.